Okay, folks, welcome to Swing Trading Today. This is Bob Desmond, and it is at current 5:17 in the a.m. Eastern Standard Time, April the 24th. What we're going to talk about today is the pre-market activity, what's going on. Then we're going to talk about members' stock chart request and our watch stocks. Members' stock chart request is where I review the symbols that our gold level members submit for me to review on video. But first, what I want to do is I want to talk about our sponsors over at TrendSpider. TrendSpider is the next level in automated charting software. It's a must-have. If you are a new trader and you're seeking validation of your technical analysis observations on your charting software, then just simply use TrendSpider to validate your pattern recognition or where you're drawing your support and resistance levels. Now, for more experienced traders, you could use TrendSpider for the very same reasons as the new trader, but also the advanced trade alerts. Very powerful stuff. So I strongly encourage you, please click the link below if you watch this on YouTube. Go take a tour of TrendSpider. Check it out. Case in point, let's bring up, this is a chart of Microsoft. And Microsoft, this is a monthly chart. Here's a blank canvas. Now, where do you want to put your support and resistance levels, knowing that we're at all-time highs? Where might there be resistance above? Do you want to go back to 2000, start drawing trend lines out to see where there might be a resistance level above? You could do that. You could extrapolate out, or you could visit TrendSpider. Let's go take a look. Remember this chart. Now, here is the very same chart as what you just saw. All you need to do is click this button. Watch. There you have extrapolated out from the late 1990s forward where they may be sellers above. This is invaluable information and it's a time saver. So please, again, click that link if you watch this on YouTube below, or if you are watching this on my blog, click the link above. Visit TrendSpider. It's worth the tour. Okay, so let's get to the economic data set to be released today, and we really have nothing on deck of importance. So we closed out the day very, very strong with the S&P 500 very near all-time highs. In all probability, we are going through it to new all-time highs. IWM is setting up with an inverted head and shoulders setup. In all probability, the small caps are going to go. Members that did analysis last night on Market Wrap, please go check it out. I think that we are seeing higher highs on this market. So let's get to the pre-market activity. We will kick things off with the ES mini futures. We are down this morning slightly. This is a 4-hour chart. These will all be 4-hour charts. And you can see that yesterday we had a very strong day, closing right at the highs of the day. We pulled back a bit overnight, but in all probability, we are pushing higher here on the S&P 500. As for the Nasdaq has been on a tear. The Nasdaq has been forecasting the breakout on the S&P 500 because you've seen the semis rip. You've seen the XLK technology sector rip to new all-time highs. So they've been forecasting what the probability is for the S&P 500, and that is a new all-time high. So the Nasdaq this morning is down. We are off the lows of the session this morning. We left the day yesterday tapping that upper band of the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. Let me make sure I have it set right. Yep. Third standard deviation. So the Nasdaq, a bit weak this morning, but it's expected. Normally when you get a strong up day, the following morning you get a pullback and then you get a follow through to the upside, putting in new daily highs. So I'm not concerned in the least about the Nasdaq. Now, with regard to the dollar we're seeing some tweezer action on. That's candlestick chart formation. If you click on my 5 most powerful candlestick patterns, the tweezer formation is one of them. And what that implies is that you are seeing sellers above. Why might we be seeing sellers above? It's because on a daily basis, I went over this with members last night on Market Wrap, on a daily basis, we closed out the day leaning into the third standard deviation Bollinger Band on a daily basis. Now, what that generally portends is a pullback. Now, do I believe that the dollar is going to come crashing down? Probably not. On a weekly basis, the dollar still looks strong. So we will probably get a pullback here, but in all probability, we're going to head higher on the US dollar in the coming days and weeks, absent some economic data that throws it off the rails. So expect a pullback here on the dollar. Now, going to commodities, which are very sensitive to the dollar, inversely, especially our gold. Now, on Twitter last night, I was looking at a tweet by Doug Cass of CB's partner. Doug Cass is a very, very, very good trader, and he said he bought gold, and I sent him over a message. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but I sent him over a message. Why did you? What was your thought process? Why did you buy gold? Because we're long of the gold miners, and we're looking to buy more. So I wanted to see if we were of like mind. And he hasn't gotten back. I'll share the response if he responds back. But the price of gold overnight has rallied back. This is a 4-hour chart. Let's drill down here. We have a breakout on a 4-hour basis. So what I think is happening here is that you're having gold traders anticipate a pullback in the US dollar, however short-lived that pullback may be. Unless, of course, there's an expectation that the GDP numbers will not be as strong as expected. That could hurt the US dollar. Now, it should be red. Okay, so we broke out overnight. We're retesting the breakout point. It looks like a fairly strong morning for the price of gold, and we may press higher here. We have a breakout on the RSI as well. So I like the chart here of gold this morning. And the expectation being that the dollar gives us a pullback, that gives gold some breathing room to rally. How much it's going to rally in the short term, I'm not quite sure. Longer term, I'm very bullish on the price of gold. If you get over in Europe 2% on inflation, they must raise rates by mandate. That's going to strengthen the euro. What will that do to the US dollar? Crushed. So longer term, I'm very bearish on the US dollar, bullish on gold, because the expectation is that you're going to see rising inflation in the Eurozone. The Federal Reserve does not have that mandate. The Federal Reserve is looking for inflation above 2%. And they're going to let it run hot, as you're seeing with, let's bring up oil. We'll bring up light sweet crude. Take a look at oil. The Federal Reserve does not want to include the price of oil in core inflation data, but we are stair-stepping higher here on crude oil. And this morning, it is breaking out yet again on a 4-hour basis. So, I think traders are out there believing that the Federal Reserve, in response to the rise in oil, is going to raise rates. They're not. They've already told us that. Janet Yellen implied as such when she was still in office, that they were willing to allow inflation to run hot. So if traders are bidding up the dollar in anticipation of a Federal Reserve rate hike to stem the price of oil, they're out of their minds. It's not going to happen. They are going to let inflation run hot, especially during a presidential election campaign, and we are in it now. The election may be in 2020, but the campaign is right now. So have no doubt about it. So this morning, we're breaking out on light sweet crude. Let's check out natural gas. All right, not much to talk about here. We're at the bottom of a trading range. So there may be something to talk about, right? Right? Makes sense. So let's pull back here. Let's clean this up. All right, so this morning, I don't think that there's much to do here with natural gas. Now, you do get natural gas inventory numbers that come out tomorrow. That could move the price. But as it stands right now, what I'd be looking for here is a retest of the lower band of support. We bounced off of it once. It's always nice to get that W formation to establish a base from which we can run out of, because if suppose we pull back from here, the peak of the morning, which was at 2.47 on the spot price, May contracts, we pull back, we do a retest, and we get a higher low, or at least we hold the morning low, or yesterday's low, I should say, and we break out above that 2.47 level. Now we have an established base, or even better, a lower high, and then we get a breakout above that 2.47 level. That'll send us up here to this secondary downtrend line. If we break out and above it, well, then we may run up to the 2.7 level on natural gas. So natural gas, interesting, not actionable right now anyway. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, of which we are long. We have a small position in it, and we're doing well with it. We got it at around 3,800. Okay, so, all right. So what we have here is a pullback, a healthy pullback, and again, it's a 4-hour chart. And we're doing a retest right now of the lower band of support. We attempted to break out overnight. We were rejected at the, let's just say 5,600 level. We're down about 2% this morning. RSI putting in lower highs and lower lows right now. So keep an eye on RSI. If we break to a new morning low, obviously I would avoid Bitcoin right now. If you wanted to buy at a strategic support level, that's fine. I would just make sure that you're buying at a historical support level. Let's go over to TrendSpider. All right, so here's the same 4-hour chart on TrendSpider. Now, what we're seeing here is a bit of a different story on their chart, in that we appear to be, let's say we're at a support level. We could quite possibly be below a support level. So I would want to wait for some strength and possibly a rally up and through 55.15 before I began to add more. I'd want to see some strength. Now, if we manage to rally back and we take out, now pulling back to a daily chart, we'll throw up here a weekly overlay of resistance levels and support levels. This is going to be a bit noisy because I added a few more resistance levels. If we rally to new highs, we're coming up here to 57.50 on Bitcoin. It's critical that we hold the morning lows, because that was support back here in November as well. And when you pull back to a weekly chart, you could see that we are at a real serious resistance level. Again, going back to November, we saw that earlier, but also going back here to October of 2017. After that, November of 17. So we have some serious resistance above at these levels. So I would be careful about opening up a new position right now or adding to a position. I would want to wait till we got some strength and we broke out and above these resistance levels, and that would take us up to, wow, we can go a lot higher from here. Looking at a weekly chart, we could quite possibly move up to, who knows, the 6,000 handle on Bitcoin. We spent enough time on this chart. Let's go over to member stock chart request. All right, we have some weed stocks to get through. Kronos Group, CRON. Daily chart. In a consolidation, we had an outside reversal day on the 22nd. Yesterday, no follow through to the upside. We need to see a rally up and through 1712 before I'd want to get involved with Kronos. Canopy Growth, daily chart. Looking good, but leaning into the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. So it's a bit extended right now for me to go buying the shares. However, if you take a look at CGC on a weekly basis, this is an awesome chart. Look at this breakout. Beautiful. I mean, hockey stick action on RSI weekly basis. Stokes appear poised to want to hook up, and we have a breakout on price. It's still only Wednesday. 3 trading days left to go, but so far this week, CGC is looking rock solid. Let's take a look at a weekly chart on TrendSpider. Yeah, very similar price action. I think that if we close out the week with this breakout, I think we're coming up to $54 per share before we hit real serious resistance at this rising upper band of the uptrend channel. And you can see the beauty of this program in that you could trade the channel here. Here's your lower band of support. Here's your upper band of resistance. You get up there, you take some profits, you buy back in at the lower band of support. These are very volatile stocks, these weed stocks. So CGC looking good. Hexo, we're seeing an inverted head and shoulders setup here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Let's throw a resistance level up here. So I'll be looking for a rally up and above 7.33 on HEXO. Let's take a look at it from a different view. All right, this is a daily chart on TrendSpider. You can see that we were in a rising uptrend channel. The solid lines are daily support and resistance levels. The dashed lines are weekly support and resistance levels. So that's the beauty of having this overlay. It just saves you time, and it's one view. And we are obviously pressing higher here. I think that we're easily coming up to weekly resistance at 7.34. If we break above that level, we're coming up here to where the weekly rising upper band of resistance and the daily upper band of resistance are pretty close to each other. So we could see high 7s, low 8s in the coming weeks. So HEXO is looking really good. And that is it for this morning, folks. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Click that like button, share with a friend. If you're watching this on the blog, enter your email address, get these videos sent straight to your inbox. And please check out TrendSpider below. And click that link below to get my 5 most powerful candlestick patterns. It's a 5-part video series, free. Everybody have a profitable trading day. I'll talk to you soon.